So I make use of the Facetune 2 app to edit on my phone. I'll select the picture that I want to work on. The first thing I do here is to click on retouch. So the retouch gives you some features. For those that are not subscribed, you might not have the healing tool activated, so I'll click on the healing tool to take care of the blemishes on her body. I'll just tap and those blemishes will come off. I'll zoom into her cheeks, take away the blemishes on her cheek, those bumps there. Once I'm done, I'll zoom out to see what I have done. Zoom in again to the forehead, and I'll just tap, take away those bumps, as many as I can. I don't overdo, so that I will not just erase off the main things on her face. So once I'm done, zoom out, see what I have done, keep doing it till I'm very satisfied with how it looks like. The idea of editing is just to enhance the work you have done. I zoomed into her cheek to erase this hair off, but by the time I zoomed out, I did not like the way it looked, so I clicked on undo. I'll click on whiten next, and I'll just whiten her eyeball, her teeth, any area that I want to appear white. It could be the background also. I'll whiten, then I adjust the intensity to what I want. Once you tap on that feature you had applied again, it highlights and makes it pink to show you the area you applied it on. I'll do the same for the other eyes, and yeah, I'll just increase it to where I want. Next thing I'll do is I'll click on smooth. I want to smoothen those areas under her eyes, that's on her face, and around her mouth, but I avoid her cheeks, that's where the blush is and the highlighter she applied is. So once I'm done, I will tap on that smooth again so that it shows me the area I applied it on. If I'm okay, I save. If not, I redo it again. Before and after. So the next thing I'm going to move on to is the sharpen tool. I'll scroll and click on sharpen. I just want to sharpen her eyebrow. I don't like the way it looks dull, so I'll zoom into the brow and I'll just create some strokes on the brow, and it sharpens it. I tap on sharpen to see what I have done, and there's some areas around her skin that effect applied on. I'll click eraser and clean it off. I just want the sharpen to be only on her eyebrow and nowhere else. I'll do the same for the other brow, and I'll save it. I would adjust the intensity, set it to a point where I like. I'll just put it somewhere around there, to something I'm comfortable with. Actually, it all depends on you. I don't want it looking too harsh or unnatural. So the next thing I'll move on to is vibrant. I want to just bring out that color that she applied. You see there's a light pink she applied around there. I'll just swipe through under her eye, and that pink becomes more prominent, and I save it and move on to something else. I'll save that, and I'll click on the next feature, which is paint. Scroll down, click on paint, and by default it takes you to the skin brush, and each brush has its default colors, but you can click on that stuff right there and choose many colors that you want. But I'll just select a color right here before selecting the main brush I want to use. I'll click this brown shade. Why? Because I want to contour her nose. I'll click on the paint brush. You can see the paint brought out its own shape. I don't want to stress looking for this brown, so I just picked it at once, and I'll tap. I'm just tapping, I'm not swiping, I'm tapping around the bridge of her nose. Yeah, by the two sides. As you can see, the colors are coming out better. I'll go back to the skin brush and I'll pick a lighter brown to finish up the down part of her nose. I don't want it looking so harsh. Yes, some people use one color to contour throughout, but it's best to use a darker color at the beginning and a lighter color to finish up the down part. So I click on skin, select this light brown shade right there, and I'll finish up the nose. Come back to my paintbrush and just tap to the remaining part of the nose down. I work on the adjustments, that's the intensity. I toggle it left to right. If I like it, I save it. If I don't, I can clean it and redo it again. So I'll still click back on paint, and the next thing I want to do right now is the blush. I click on paint and I select this dark red. I zoom into her face and I tap close to her hand, the cheek area close to her hand. I tap, tap, tap. I don't swipe. If you swipe, it's going to be so harsh. I'll select a lighter shade and apply it to this other area closer to her, her nose area. So I'll zoom into the other cheek, select that dark red, apply it closer to the cheek close to where her hand is. Select a lighter one to the frontal part of her cheek. I tap, I don't swipe. So I would zoom back to see what I have done. If I'm okay with it, I save. If not, I delete it, I undo it, I erase it, whatever I want to do. I work on the intensity. I think I'm okay with the way it looks. I increase it to 100, I reduce it back. I'll just put it at the point where I'm okay with, and I save it. Yes, the reason I'll save and come back again is because the same intensity might not be the same I want to use again. So I'll come back there and click on, I think I'll click on tone, select a light red or brown color according to her undertone, and I'm going to just contour the areas around her forehead close to her hair. I just tap around there to intensify the contour that she had already done. Tap, 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 and if I'm okay with it, I would save it. Just notice the area around the forehead. You can see that, but most of that color applied to her hair. So I'm going to erase the hair area off. I'll click on eraser, zoom in a bit to her hair, and I'll just delete that brown shade that I applied mistakenly on her hair. So if you watch, you see it's going to clean off. I'll just delete it there. Yeah, move to the other area and delete it. I don't want the hair looking too brown or lifeless. So once I'm done with that, I'll save it. Come back to paint again, and this time around I want to click on skin, select a light shade just to brighten up her body. Most times when you use flash or ring light, it just washes out the color and makes it look somehow. So I'll just tap around the areas I want to add brightness to on her skin. You can see before and after. I think it's a lot better. I don't swipe through all the skin, I just add highlights to the necessary areas. So I move to paint. I select that so that it will help me choose another shade. I come down to black. I want to actually tap on her hair. I want to darken her hair, but I'm not darkening the whole hair, just those areas that are already dark. I'll apply more darkness to it, and I'll avoid applying darkness to the areas that are already highlighted, that the light highlighted. So I'll toggle on the adjustments after I'm done darkening the hair to increase the intensity back and forth. You see how beautiful the hair looks right now. I would save that up and move on to something else. Come back to paint again. I'll make use of the paint brush. This time around, I want to work on her lash line. You can see the area between her real lash and the fake lashes has a difference. So I'll click on paint brush. Then I think I'll use the tone brush, any brush you want to use. As far as the color is black, it's working well. I'll select black and I'll just lightly stroke the areas in between her lash line to conceal that up. I'll do the same for the other lash. Work on the adjustments if I want it very dark or less dark. It's all up to you. So let's see the before and the after. You see how more beautiful the eyelashes now look. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'll save this up, come back to paint again. The next thing I want to do is that I'll select maybe the tone or the paint brush. I'll find the black color. I'll use black and I'll zoom into her eyes and just darken her waterline. Those areas she applied black eyeliner under her eye, I'll just stroke, swipe, darken the areas all around the eye. You can see I mistakenly added black on her skin. I will click eraser and wipe that off. Then I'll also darken the other eyes. Let's wipe this off. Click eraser and just clean that off. I'll apply that black tint to the other eye too and save it up. I'll use another brush. Why? Because the intensity of this one is 100% and the next thing I want to do, I might not want it to be 100%, so I'll choose another brush or I save it and come back again. So I would select a pink color. Why? I want to bring out that pink under her eyes. So let me just look for a pink shade that I love. Then I'll click classic brush or the tone brush or the skin brush, any other brush but not the paint. Let's use classic. I'll just tap. If you swipe, it will come out too much. Some of these brushes you need to tap, some of them you need to swipe. Just do what works best for you. I'll apply that pink on the bow eye under. I save it. I'll come back to paint once again, and this time around I'll be using white. I'll select white, zoom in. I want to create an highlight in front of her eye. I'll tap that area right there. That's her tear duct area, whatever it's called. I'll tap just to create highlight there. It's not compulsory. Even the makeup artist did not do this, but I just chose to. At this point the image is looking more Barbie dollish. I would also add highlight to her cheeks. I would tap that area that she applied highlight on her both cheeks. I'll tap it, see how it looks before. I increase the intensity to what I like. Before and after. If I'm okay with that, I'll just save it up. So I'll go to retouch. I want to just smoothen out the highlight I applied. So I'll click on smooth and smoothen her face again, but I will not smoothen the blush and the highlight that on her cheeks because it will just further blow it out. So I'll just smoothen all around her face, under there, around her forehead also. You see how that highlight has just blended in a bit once I smoothened it. Smoothen around her forehead too. I still later came back to smoothen the blush, but I did not touch the highlight on her cheeks because it will blur it out. So I've applied smoothing effect to all this area that just highlighted as pink. I save it. I still came back to that retouch. I forgot to glow up her cheeks, so I'll click on retouch, scroll to where I have the glow effect, and I'll just tap once on the highlighter I applied on her both cheeks. Once I tap it, the glow mistakenly applied to the blush too. I'll just use the eraser and clean the unwanted part off before and after. This is after. I know it looks like a Barbie. It's all to your preference. So I came back and I decided to smoothen the blush, but I did not touch the highlight on her cheek. I just smoothened the blush. I know it's now looking more plastic, but you do what you want to do. There are even some artists that edit and make their image look like cartoon. I went back to the paint option just to be a little extra. I clicked on liner, selected brown, zoomed in, and added some fake freckles. I just tap fake freckles under. Yes, under. I selected the darker shade and I'll just add dots there. It's not compulsory, not necessary. So this is what the image looks before and after. Please kindly go ahead to like, subscribe and share. Thank you so much. See you in my next video. Bye bye.